If you feel like you're living Groundhog's Day and keep having hard day after hard day after hard day, and there's no way out, listen up. This episode is for you. In my coaching membership program, each month we do a different challenge, working on how to create the career we want. And for the month of July, we're doing an energy reset challenge where we're diving deep into how do you actually do this? How do you not be totally exhausted at the end of the day and feel depleted and just continue to rinse and repeat? Today, I want to share with you just a little fragment, a sliver of this overall concept, because it's really easy to get in this rut of just dragging ourselves through the day, back-to-back meetings, not taking breaks, not taking lunch breaks, working at night, making plans and backing out of it because there's some escalation and some fire drill, checking our email first thing in the morning. This is exhausting. So many of us are so burned out, but we're afraid to go and look for a new job because the market has shifted and changed. So we'd rather just keep dragging ourselves through this really hard thing. So I want to offer you something to try. It's super easy. It takes just a couple minutes and it works when you work it. So I'd offer you to have an open mind and be willing to try it even just once this week and see how it goes. I want you to think of this like grocery shopping. If you go to the grocery store and you don't really have a plan, you don't have a list, you don't know what you need, you kind of know, it's kind of in your head, but your plan is to just walk up and down every single aisle and grab some stuff. That's fine. For me, that's just exhausting. And then I get home and I realize, I forgot that one thing I needed for dinner tonight. And I'm annoyed because I don't want to go back to the grocery store. So I can go grocery shopping and just grab whatever fits within my budget or whatever sounds good, but it usually doesn't set me up for success. Does it work in the end? Can I get food and be fed? Yeah. Is it the most effective, helpful way? Definitely no. You can also go to the grocery store with a list and a plan and know what things you need to get. You can even take it a step further and organize that list so that it's in order and it follows the flow of the grocery store. If you've been there enough times, you can even go online and simply order your groceries that way and have someone deliver them to you. There's a lot of different ways to grocery shop, and none of them are right or wrong. But as you think through those different ways, different approaches use different amounts of energy and are going to make you feel a different way at the end. My personal preference, if I really have a plan together, I love ordering my groceries online and having them delivered. Like, that's the best. I don't even have to go to the grocery store. I'm not going to spend money on things I don't really need. I meal plan. I figure out what things I already have in my house, what things I need. I order it and it gets delivered. I love that. My least favorite way is knowing I want to cook some meals for my family for the week, but I'm not really sure what, so let's just walk through and see what sounds good. To me, that's just like such a waste of time, and I know I'm going to end up back at the grocery store because for sure I'm not going to get everything I need. It's the same way with how we're choosing to go throughout our day. Now, I'm not here to talk to you about scheduling out your time and scheduling out your day, though I do have some suggestions on that. Those of you that are in my coaching membership, go watch the How to Get More Done, Doing Less. That'll walk you through that in detail. But here's what I want you to plan ahead of time. In the morning, while you're in the shower, while you're brushing your teeth, while you're going to the bathroom, while you're doing something you do every morning anyways, I want you to just take literally 2 minutes is all it takes. And I want you to think, how do I want to feel at the end of the day? I want you to be real about this. If you have back-to-back meetings and a deadline and you got to meet with that person who you don't like and it never goes well and you're behind and you know it's going to be a late night working, let's not tell ourselves at the end of the day we want to feel happy and good and calm. No, what you have chosen to do that day isn't going to make you feel that way. But we don't have to feel pissed and burned out and exhausted. If you're not choosing on purpose how you want to feel at the end of the day, that is how you're going to feel. But if you know you have that crazy day ahead of you, instead maybe you're just choosing to feel tired because it's going to be a long day, and that's okay. We can do a lot of things tired. Let's go for tired versus burned out and exhausted and annoyed. Tired to me is a little less intense, a little less harsh. Okay. So I want you to decide, how do you want to feel at the end of the day? So we're taking these 2 minutes and we're deciding, based on what's ahead of me today, how am I choosing to feel at the end of today? It could be proud. It could be tired. It could be calm. It could be accomplished. It could be confident. It could be curious. Like, there's no wrong way, but I'm not here to tell you the goal is to always just feel good. I don't think we should feel good about working in unhealthy work environments, being told we're not good enough to meet goals and expectations that aren't achievable. I don't think you should feel good in that scenario. But I don't think we need to go to this horrible, terrible, deep, dark place either. So let's choose on purpose. How do we want to feel? Step number 1. Okay. Step number 2, I want you to think about, what do you need during the day to get to that feeling at the end of the day? Okay. So if instead of being burned out because you've got back-to-back meetings all day and it's going to be a long day, instead of being burned out and exhausted and resentful and mad, and we just want to be tired, what do you need? What would be helpful? And again, I want to make this realistic. You're not going to go take an hour-long lunch with your friends. You don't have time for that. You're not going to go get a massage. Someone else isn't magically going to come in and do your work. But there are things you can do throughout the day to manage your energy and your emotions and how you're feeling. It's things like, every 90 minutes, stand up from your desk and stretch and walk around the block. You can literally do that in about 5 minutes. It's go into the bathroom stall, close the door, put your AirPods in, and listen to your favorite song really loud. It's connecting with that friend at work and laughing over something funny. It's taking a break to eat food that actually feels good in your body. It's acknowledging you don't have time to get that one thing done and telling the person you're sorry, but it's going to have to wait until the next day. There's no wrong way to do this, but if your goal is to feel tired at the end of a hard day and not exhausted, how do you take little snippets, little 30 seconds to 2 minutes throughout the day to help yourself just get a little bit of boost of energy, a little bit of boost of emotional stability, so that at the end of the day, we're tired, but we're not angry? It's doing a quick meditation. It's doing some purposeful, focused breathing. It's spending 2 minutes with an animal that you love and petting a dog, or taking them out to go to the bathroom and getting some natural light. It's going outside and not being heads down on your phone, but just looking around at the things around you and smiling at strangers. It's these simple little things that are going to make such a difference on how you feel at the end of the day. Because if you just go and never stop, you will be exhausted and tired and burned out. But I also understand you have a realistic schedule where you can't take hour-long breaks. So I want you to decide ahead of time, how do you want to feel at the end of the day? Okay? So we're going to start off by, in the morning, deciding how you want to feel. And then we're going to identify, what are some things I need to be able to help me feel that way at the end of the day. Okay? So we're coming up with a plan. We're not just walking through the grocery store without a plan, hungry and needing food. We're making a list. Okay? Then at the end of the day, when you're brushing your teeth, washing your face, going to the bathroom, doing whatever the thing you already do at the end of the day, I want you to acknowledge and just check in. How am I feeling? What helped me get here? What didn't help me get here? What could I try next time? Okay. This is going to take some trial and error. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but having a purposeful intention is going to significantly set you up for success and give you a better outcome. You're going to have a crazy day. We know that. But we don't have to go to the big, hard, scary feelings that can come from that if we are just taking in whatever comes to us and we don't have a plan. If we don't have a plan with how we're going to feel, We will just take on whatever comes to us, and it's hard and heavy. So decide in the morning how you want to feel at the end of the day. Figure out what do you need in small 30-second increments throughout the day to get there. And at the end of the day, check in to see how did it go. Let's get out of this Groundhog's Day of doom together, but we're going to do it in a sustainable way, which means we're going to start baby stepping our way to where we want to be. A great place to start is deciding, how do I want to feel at the end of the day, and setting yourself up for success by coming up with a 2-minute plan in the morning, identifying some things you can do, doing some of them, and then thanking yourself and checking in at the end of the day. All right, y'all. You got this. You're amazing. We'll talk soon.
Ready to stop waiting for when and transform your career now? My career coaching membership gives you the tools you need plus direct access to me through private video coaching, all for less than the cost of your monthly cell phone bill. Spots are limited and I frequently have a wait list, so go to lindsaylymancoaching.com/join to find all of the details.